Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you in this daily PIB analysis video. These videos they come in the evening and in the morning the Hindu editorial videos they come, and the PDFs you will get on the Telegram channel of the StudyIQ and the Facebook group of mine, that is Amit Sani group for IAS preparation. So there you get all these PDFs, and today is 9th of February and Saturday not much data is there. And before that you can call on these numbers and you can call for these pen drive courses by StudyIQ. The level of StudyIQ and the dedication, that is unmatched, and there is no doubt regarding that. And these courses, they are also performing greatly with the students, and you can talk to these students. Alumni groups are there, and you can buy these courses and you can inquire about these courses calling on these numbers. And in this examination time, sit at your home and study peacefully, and these are the ultimate guides. Global Fund, as I told you, this fund is for HIV, tuberculosis and malaria, for all these three important diseases. And the HIV TB combination and the important strategy regarding that is only one of the component. So this is a particular target that is huge, and for specifically three diseases: malaria, HIV and tuberculosis. And the Geneva is the secretariat in Switzerland, and it's a public-private partnership. And as I told you, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation that gave the seed money for this, and now for the next 3 years they are going to raise $14 billion for this particular initiative. So only 2 is the correct answer here. And second option, Global Environment Facility. This environment facility, it was started after 1992 Earth Summit that happened in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and it was not founded after Paris Summit. This is a particular financial mechanism, and for many programs that I told you in detail yesterday, just the way they are: Stockholm Convention on POPs and CBD, UNCCD for desertification, for land degradation, and for many other Minamata diseases, Minamata Convention. So it is a funding mechanism for all these programs. And the projects are related to biodiversity, climate change, land degradation, poverty also, and these other important areas of forest conservation, everything. So it is not only as it is mentioned here. So D, none would be the correct answer here. Next, the data regarding DD Arun Prabha. As we had discussed this earlier also, DD Arun Prabha is going to be for Arunachal Pradesh, and it is going to integrate the indigenous community, their culture, and specifically the northeast part of India to the mainland of India. It is going to support immensely for that particular target, and it is going to be the 24/7 Doordarshan satellite channel. So DD Arun Prabha, and it would come under the Ministry of Broadcasting and Information. And you see there are important film and television institutes under this ministry. These are 3 number. Third one would be established as a permanent campus in Arunachal Pradesh. So that's important. Other 2 are in Kolkata and 1 is in Pune. The Pune one was very much controversial for the last 3 years, FTII Pune. So that was in news. Now 24th satellite channel operated by Doordarshan. This is going to be, and a state-of-the-art facilities including a digital satellite news gathering unit, as we discussed about the GSAT 31. That is going to help, and the mention of DSNG was also there. So it is going to be working as a unit under this particular DD Arun Prabha. So it is going to be a very important channel. And magazines, documentaries, travelogue, reality shows, daily shows, mythological shows, all would be telecasted here. And it would be the permanent campus of FTI where this is going to be launched. And as I told you, it is the 3rd FTI under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Next, the first time ranking of the hospitals. These are being done in India, and till now there was no ranking available for the hospitals. Now among 22 central government of hospitals which are integrated with the Mera Aspatal application, that is the main idea here, Mera Aspatal application. And here the patient satisfaction score that is taken, and the feedback from these patients and outpatients, these are taken. AIIMS Delhi was ranked 14th among 22 central government hospitals. And you see one other one is National Institute Ranking Framework, NIRF, that was started 2-3 years back, and it was by Ministry of HRD, because AIIMS is also involved with medical education. So their AIIMS Delhi got first rank, but in this Mera Aspatal rank it has got 14th rank, because these are the parameters of hospital services. So because AIIMS Delhi is always overcrowded and a long waiting time is there, and sometimes lack of amenities and inadequate informations are there. So these are the common problems with the Indian hospitals, and specifically this the government hospitals. So this Mera Aspatal app is going to rate all these hospitals. AIIMS Delhi was just an example that I was talking about, and this Mera Aspatal is going to be an revolutionary idea in maintaining these standards and the services delivery of the hospitals, because these are the one of the most crucial and places where services are disturbed most of the times. If we go towards states and these hospitals, because health is a state subject, so ranking these public health hospitals and their services it is going to be a revolutionary idea. Next information is again from the same ministry, the National Deworming Day. It's a campaign and a fixed day is launched every year as the National Deworming Day. The main issue is of the soil transmitted helminths diseases. You see, when kids they eat anything from the soil, and they eat sometimes soil also, so these parasites which live in the soil and these intestinal worms, they are a major problem for major population of Indian kids. Around 64% of them, according to WHO, they are vulnerable to the soil transmitted health infections, and most of the times we hear about the stomach ache because they consumed something bad, and all these worms are eating their nutrition, and their growth is also stunted because of the worms inside their stomach. So there is a problem. So age group of 1 to 19, that is a main focus here, and the medicine that is given, that is albendazole. That is a working one, evidence-based and a globally recognized medicine. Albendazole is given for that, and Ministry of Women and Child Development and Ministry of HRD both are implementing this particular National Deworming Day campaign. Teachers, Anganwadi workers, Asha workers, they all support this particular idea, and they all work on the ground level, and it's not a simple thing, it's a huge concern for Indian population. And around 25 crore children and adolescents are to be covered under this particular round that is going on. This year, 8th February is the deworming day. And the mop-up day would be on 14th of February. And medicine albendazole, as I told you. So this was asked in one of the examination. Again this year, this may be asked. So that's a huge concern. Apart from that, if we talk about the nutritional levels in the kids, a lot of schemes are going on. You see, this National Deworming Day falls under the extended Gram Swaraj Abhiyan, and it is also integrated with the national Swachh Bharat Abhiyan also. Anemia Mukt Bharat is also going on, which is for the anemia, the loss of blood, and Poshan Abhiyan, National Nutrition Mission, and nutrition strategy, which was made by Niti Aayog in December 17, that is also going on. So malnutrition and this anemia, they both they need to be eliminated from India. Anyhow, there should be a control till 2022 year. Otherwise, anemia is a major problem among the females, especially the pregnant women and the adolescent girls. These both groups are totally vulnerable to the anemic conditions, and that's why this folic acid tablets are given normally. And the biofortification issue. What is biofortification? When we are making the food strong in micronutrients. Otherwise, people eat food, but if nutrients are not there in that food, then certainly people's stomach would be filled with the food, but the nutrition is not being given to their bodies. So that's why this is the case of hidden hunger. People look fat because they consume the food based on sugar and salt only, and nutrients are missing. That's why I always advise, it is always advised that you eat green leafy vegetables and all, because micronutrients are there and they are going to fortify your food. So biofortification is a major issue if you talk about the nutritional levels of the poor population of India, or maybe the rich population, because rich people also, they consume food based on salt and sugar only. The pizza, burger, chips and all these are salty and sugary foods, and they are of no value. These are totally junk foods. And regarding the junk foods also, 2 days back we discussed some plans and strategies by Government of India. Next data is regarding the CMS, Convention on the Conservation of Migratory Species of the Wild Animals, CMS. You see, this CMS is actually a convention that is also called Bonn Convention. This is for the migratory species of the birds, animals, maybe fishes, or anything on the planet. You see, they cross thousands of kilometers of distance just to defy the winter conditions, or maybe for the breeding purposes, or maybe for security reasons. They migrate. So in this migration, they are under immense stress, and their species, their existence is also vulnerable. So this particular convention talks about the conservation of these migratory species. Many birds, they also come to India for a temporary period of time, just the way Amur falcons, Siberian cranes, they visit India every year. India's wetlands like Kevla Dev Bird Sanctuary, that is always famous for this thing, and it's a major tourist hub. Lakhs of people go to those places to watch these beautiful birds. And you see, this is the magical thing, when they cross thousands of kilometers of distance, and they don't forget their ways, they don't forget their destinations, and they are never lost. And 100% evidences are not available till date, that how do they make it possible, how do they travel so far, and they are not exhausted, and they are doing their breeding activities also in this time, and they are feeding themselves in a mystifying way. So nobody can give this 100% idea that how they are doing it. Maybe it's the magnetic field of the earth to which they take help, so nobody knows about that. So that's why it's a magical thing for the migratory birds. It's actually magical for us, it is normal for them. So conservation of migratory species is very important. Next year 2020 in Gandhinagar, Gujarat, this 13th COP of this CMS, COP means Convention of Parties, as it happens for the Framework Convention on the Climate Change. So COP 13th one is going to be happening in Gandhinagar, Gujarat, and India is the signatory to the CMS since 1983. So it has been 35 years till now that we have been a party of this particular convention. And this time logo and mascot of GB is also launched, minister launched it. And you see, if we talk about the migratory species, if I show you some pictures, Siberian crane and famously Amur falcon, where state of Nagaland and Manipur are famous for this Amur falcon, and many birds were killed by local population. After that, this issue came into highlight, and conservation plans were announced for that, and they remain in these states for some time because it is in their ways. And you see, this is the highway for them. They come from this northeast part of Asia, this the part of North Korea, Russia, Mongolia, and they belong to these areas, and they breed in these places, and they travel till the southern corner of continent Africa, and that is the path. So they travel for these huge distance, thousands of kilometers of distance, and these all birds we can see in many wetlands. So India has also signed some non-legally binding MOUs with CMS. Marine turtles, dugongs, the sea cow which is found in Gulf of Mannar, and some raptor species. Raptor species are actually predatory birds, big birds. So regarding that, we have signed non-legally binding MOUs, because MOUs are signed and they are Appendix 1 and Appendix 2 under this CMS convention, where if these are totally threatened species, then they would come under Annex 1. If these are not that much threatened and international collaboration is required, then they come under this Appendix 2. But it is all about the migratory species, and Bonn Convention we popularly call it. Okay, if we talk about it later, you see the reason food, sunlight, temperature, climate, all these factors are there for their migration. And you see breeding purposes are also sometimes the big reasons. Okay, as it says here, India is a temporary home. India is not a permanent home. That thing is important, because they always keep traveling, and half of their lives they are traveling, they are flying. But it's a very hectic task, and it's a really interesting phenomena. Next data is regarding the Cutlass Express. Cutlass Express is actually a naval exercise, and especially for the East African nations. They take trainings, and India, USA, International Maritime Organization, CMF, and UNAFOR, all these naval forces, they are training these particular forces of East African nations. And main target and main aim is to improve law enforcement capacity in this particular area of West Indian Ocean, because it's a very sensitive area and major portion of world trade is passing through this particular place, and Somalian pirates and all these are very infamous things related to this particular area. So illegal maritime activities, regional security and law enforcement, these are the main focus of this Cutlass Express. And this time India's INS Trikand, Indian naval ship of the warship Trikand, is participating in this exercise, as it always does. So it's a frontline warship of Indian Navy, and from 27 January to 6 February Cutlass Express held. So this was important. Okay, now these are the MCQs. You can try the answers in the comment section and discuss about these issues and find about those migratory birds and their species. These are very interesting things, and CMS is very important area of the UPSC's focus in the environment section. Many times they have asked many questions related to these migratory birds, Amur falcons, or these conventions. They can ask about their particular headquarters or their famous names and areas in which they are working. Okay, and the PDFs you will get on this Facebook group. And thanks a lot for now. Keep watching. It was Amit Sani. Tomorrow there would be no lesson because no data is updated for 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, and Monday much of the data would be there. So thanks a lot. Keep watching. It was Amit Sani.